Hi babes, welcome back to Whatever Same. And this week's theme is story time. Now, I'm having a really hard time choosing a story for you guys. So I guess I'll just tell you a couple of stories about my family because we have some interesting stories to tell. So let's start with my first story about my sister. This was when I was on vacation with my family. I was probably about 10 years old, I think, somewhere around there. And we were in Florida and we took a little pontoon boat out to a little island called Shell Island where we would go and walk around the island all day and just collect shells and sand dollars and all of that fun stuff. Now on the island, the water is crystal clear and you can see stingrays and sand sharks and little fish. You can see everything just like swimming by and it's really cool, it's really pretty. So we were standing out in the water, probably up to our waist. Me and my sister had our backs to the open ocean, and then my brother and my cousin were facing us, so their backs were to the island. Now they thought it was really funny to yell shark and take off running. Now this caused my sister to turn around, put her hands on my shoulders, and push me down into the water, and take off running and leaving me there. So now, mind you, if this was a real shark, I'd probably either be dead or severely injured. I don't know. Luckily, it's just a sand shark chasing a school of fish, and my brother and my cousin thought it was going to be a funny joke to play on us, and yeah, so that's the story of my sister leaving me out to die in the ocean because she's selfish. Oh wait, because she's shellfish. Alright, I'm just gonna go. Anyway, bad pun. Ooh, that was painful. I'm sorry. Alright, let's see. What's the next story gonna be? Let's see. Should I go for a funny family vacation story or a story of my family getting in a fist fight? The possibilities are endless with my family. Alright, so let's do fist fight and then. So, I would say probably about a year or so ago, my cousin got married and we aren't too fond of his wife. We're at the wedding, we're all drinking, having a good time. We only have a couple of drinks because our plan is to get on the first bus back to the hotel and drink in my aunt and uncle's suite because they were the mother and father of the groom, so they had a fancy room, so we were going to go back and drink in the room with them. So, we stop drinking, we get on the bus. Well, the bus driver decided to wait. He didn't want to leave at the scheduled time he was supposed to leave. He was supposed to make 2 trips. Instead, he tried to make 1. Now, this is where the story starts to go from, hey, we're having fun on the bus, to, oh no, this is going to be terrible. Me and my brother have, we're claustrophobic. So that means we are afraid of small enclosed spaces. Now, the bus wasn't bad when the seats were full, like, kind of full, but not completely full, and the bus should have been leaving. We would have been able to handle that. But no. The bus driver decides, even though there's no seats left, he's gonna stay there and let people keep getting on to the point where there are people just standing in the walkway. So this is where me and my brother start to panic because we're sitting in the back of the bus. So that's a very small space. We tried opening the windows, that wasn't helping us. We start to freak out a little bit. And the bride's family, all drunk and disoriented, comes onto the bus with beers in their hands and glasses from the wedding hall place that we just had, the reception hall, whatever. And we're trying to leave. We're all getting grumpy now. We're yelling at the bus driver, like, hey, can we go? Let's go. There's no more seats. Like, there's no more room. No one can be standing here. Like, it's not safe. You're supposed to make 2 trips. Like, let's go. And my cousin starts running her mouth a little bit. And it causes the lady behind us, who is the bride's aunt or something, to start putting her hands in people's faces. Now, she wasn't doing it to be a bitch, but she was being a bitch. Excuse my language. so sorry. So then she turns to me after putting her hand in my cousin's face and my cousin smacking her hand out of her face and kind of yelling at her. She turns to me and she goes, I don't know what the problem was. Okay, well, why are you in my face now? I don't know you. I don't want to talk to you. I'm panicking. I'm having an anxiety attack. I don't have my inhaler. I'm freaking out. And this lady's all up in my face talking to me about my cousin and how my cousin's being rude. And I'm just like, lady, let it go. Shut up. Stop talking. She does it again to my cousin. Well, this time, the aunt's nephew doesn't like it too much. And at this point, now everyone's chiming in because we're fighting. We're yelling at each other, calling each other names, whatever. Well, the guy decides to, for some reason, go after my mom. Not my cousin who's running her mouth, but goes after my mom and throws a beer bottle and hits my mom in the face. This is the point where my dad jumps up, then a bunch of other men jump up, and then my brother jumps up, and then I jump up, and it becomes a big tangled mess. So, there's two guys going after my dad, trying to hit him. My dad's holding one by the throat and holding the other one by his collar, trying to hold him off. Now, my dad's not a big guy, but he's got muscles. He's a tough man. Well, this is the part that personally affected me, and I had to jump in. All 5'1", 100 pounds of me had to jump in and try to fight these two guys off. I don't know what I was thinking. I just saw two men going after my dad, and I jumped on the back of one, grabbed the face of the other, scratched down his face, punched him, choked the other guy, and the next thing I know, I'm on the ground. So, during all of this, my brother threw open the emergency door at the back of the bus and was throwing people out of the bus. So next thing I know, someone's grabbing me and dragging me from the floor of the bus and throws me out the back of the bus. My dad's fighting people, my mom's fighting people, I'm fighting people. Now I'm on the ground. I lost my phone, I lost my glasses, all the cake that I brought home with me was destroyed. That was like the saddest moment for me. So I'm off the bus, but my dad is still stuck on the bus with my mom. My brother's off the bus fighting people off the bus. I'm crying hysterically, having a panic attack because I can't be in the bus to help my dad. I'm having an asthma attack. I don't have an inhaler. My cousin's friend had to hold me down because I kept trying to get back on the bus to get to my dad. So the other friend had to go and grab his inhaler and get it for me. And finally, my dad got off the bus and came to get me. And a couple of us got back on the bus after everything calmed down because the cops had to come. We get back on the bus and we leave. Somehow, we're covered in blood. Best part, it's none of my family's blood. The guy who went after my dad and threw the beer bottle at my mom was busted up. His face was a mess. Pretty sure he broke his nose. My favorite part of the story, though, is that my whole family left without a scratch. Other than, my family is, like, amazing. Like, this story, for the longest time, caused me a lot of anxiety to think about and talk about, but now it's just the most amazing story I have of my family, because I'm just like, my family's badass. The worst part, that's not the first fight we've been in as a family. Oh, what a night. What a night. Hope you enjoyed my two family stories that I had for you. Anyway, thumbs up for my shitty storytelling, and for my badass family that fucks people up if you get on our bad side, I guess. Bye! I don't condone violence, by the way. Violence is not the answer. If you can solve a problem without fighting, do that.